Well, so if you're watching this, I'm actually not pregnant anymore.
Yay! So this is like the last Diana unedited couple videos.
It's bad. We had to take a video down.
The Botox video. If you're wondering where it went, it's gone.
I didn't mean to offend. I was just genuinely
Looking out for your well-being.
very curious, but you're going to have to help me because my attitude has gotten very bad at the end of this pregnancy. And if you were the one pregnant with 2 weeks to go, I would be like, Dawn, it's 2 weeks. You're going to be fine.
Like 2 weeks flies by right now.
It's me. I am so uncomfortable. I had this with the last pregnancy, like Braxton Hicks, all the time from 30 weeks on. And I just don't sleep. And that just gets taxing.
Yeah.
And so
Wait, before we go on, don't forget Christmas is coming and you can still download your free Christmas planner full of planning pages, calendars, and everything you need for a peace-filled, meaningful Christmas. Plus, our gift guide is live, full of meaningful gifts. Check out the links below.
Anyway, the first question today was, how are you feeling at the end of your pregnancy? And I have never been more ready. And most people at 38 weeks also are very ready. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be that way. It's like end of any season in life. And and this will be our last baby.
Yeah.
And so I thought I would be like, oh,
enjoy it.
Like last time feeling the baby move, which was my favorite part and everything. Nope. So my online Bible study is here with us today. So we'll have a little peanut gallery interaction. They can all be like, Diana, you'll be
fine.
They've been hearing a lot about it.
I just remember when I was at the and I went over with Adeline, and this guy came into work and he was like, it's easier to carry them on the inside than the outside. And I'm like, how would you know? Like, why would you even say that to somebody?
And I'm actually to the point, because by baby number 4, you literally get like a receiving blanket and a coming home outfit. And you're like, I'm ready. I'm ready to have a baby.
Yeah.
I actually feel like the baby is easier
on the
outside.
On the outside
it will be easier.
Yeah.
So that's where this is actually a very knowledgeable answer. That it's like, nope, I actually would rather be on the other side. I've never negotiated with God before. Until now, where I was just like, like 38 weeks is like
full term.
Term, fully formed. Like, as long as he's fully formed and ready, could he come into the world now? And then I'm like, all right, you're going to be fine.
I asked Diana, I'm like, I got castor oil at home. You want me to bring it? Like,
spicy foods.
We'll do all the things. We're going for a walk after this.
But I just know, because both you and I had this experience where we went, last time I went early, they sent me home.
Oh, that's
what I
worse.
think would happen.
Yeah.
So I don't want that to happen.
No.
So I will be fine.
Just keep hanging out and answering questions. This is going to be fun.
And by this point too, we'll also have the baby like birth video, name, all that up. So I'll link to that. And I'll be happy. You'll just see like such a joy.
What did you name it? I'm so excited to find out.
I can't wait to find out either. Adley, my 5-year-old, is pulling for Moses.
Okay, I like it.
So, and the middle name will be Mark after our dad, which I'm super excited about. So
Moses Mark, it has a nice ring to it. I like
we were trying it out. We were like, Moses Mark Koku.
It's on the table. Okay. All right.
And that was another question, is like, how do you choose names? Meaning has always been really important to us.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Moses has a really good meaning.
Yeah.
it's pretty biblical. And so we always...
apparently the name Dawn doesn't have enough meaning because my name has never been worked into, but it's fine.
Dawn means daybreak. That is the...
That's what it means.
Meaning. Diana happens to mean luminous and perfect.
Wow. That's...
Like, does someone who's already probably confident enough for 2 people
they don't
need a
more.
name that means luminous and perfect?
Right.
But, hey,
it's fine.
It is what it is.
It's
so, would you guys have a meet and greet with your YouTube friends?
Yeah.
We did. Well, that's been a while. What we have in the past.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's
After baby Moses is here, let's go. Where should we go? Warm places in the winter.
Well, Stacy's in Florida. I already committed to Florida.
Done.
Yep. And it actually is the highlight of this experience.
Oh, yeah. Meeting you in person? For sure. Let's do some more. We love it when you invite us to your women's conferences. We've been getting some invitations for that. You can email me, support@theminimalmom.com. We have a form you can fill out. We could do our own conference. We could,
our Airbnb. Cancun.
Personal. I like it. Yeah.
I guess my mind is clearly on vacation right now. A spa day.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah, just shoot us some ideas. And I know my Bible study, we're like, retreat somewhere.
A retreat.
In the mountains.
Yes. Retreat. Let's do that. Why not?
I'm always trying to figure out how to keep it really cost effective.
I know.
And so that's where I always think about, where can we fly into?
Ireland, that not quite so cost effective, Jennifer, but would be super fun.
Maybe that's like, we could put that out
Warm
in a
place.
couple years, give people a chance to save up a little.
Okay, so if you know of a cost effective retreat center, probably like middle of the
Central.
country. Yes.
Yeah.
That we could all meet up at. We'll plan it far enough ahead so you can arrange childcare and travel.
Denver is a
a
Delta
little
hub?
expensive, it's a little
Okay.
bougie
Used to-
in Denver now.
It used to be pretty cheap to fly into Denver if you had a
It is
Delta.
still not too bad.
Okay.
I'm just worried about the accommodations around there, but
Yeah.
let us know. Maybe you know of a place.
Maybe we're camping.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. See, Pam said I'd love to attend a conference that you put on.
Yeah, I would too. We have talked about that. I think.
Ooh, Big Sky. That'd be fun.
Oh, Big Sky. We've been in, again, and I would just, anybody, I know a lot of people struggle to get pregnant and everything, so I don't want to be ungrateful. I think of that so much, and we have friends that we're praying for and everything, so please don't hear that. But it's been a pretty intense baby rearing phase around here. And so, like, the last two are, 14
close.
months apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were kind of like, not getting any younger. Let's get it done. And thank you, Lord, for all of these healthy babies. So, but anyway, I'm excited. We're going to be on the back side of that.
Oh yeah, and you will be able to travel.
I mean,
and
I
have
see your
retreats and-
life right now. Your oldest just turned 9. Our youngest just turned 9.
Yeah, and Adeline's almost 14, 9 through 14.
She's almost driving.
Yeah.
The other night, we all went out for Tom's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Your kids stayed with my kids. Like, we're getting these like little glimmers
Yeah.
of life kind of opening up. Or Adeline
it's
could even
wonderful on this side, Diana. It's awesome.
Adeline could
I
travel
love these
with us,
ages.
and the baby could come with. I mean, like
yeah.
we're kind of like, we can really start planning these things. So send your ideas.
Okay.
Yep. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it looks like Florida is a hot spot, right? I think that's just kind of a no-brainer.
Orlando.
Okay.
But in the winter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In the winter.
Yeah.
Stacy has a pool. She sends me videos from her pool all the time. Okay. How much of your daily life is committed to social media? Do your families ever feel like that you guys need a break, or do they miss you because of it? Is it a lifestyle or a job? Good questions, right?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's, with anything in life, it's like you figure out the balance. And I was definitely in a season until recently where I was working too much probably and spending too much time on it, but I love it. So it's a job. Yes, it's our family's like primary income right now for us. But am I like so fortunate? It is like the coolest job ever. So this fall, I really committed to like reining it back in, cutting back, and that has been going really well. So still very much a job, but I'm not on social media. Sorry, I'll actually get to it.
No, it's fine.
I'm not on social media a lot. I'm very good now about like not having my phone on me when I'm like making dinner around the kids.
You never text back.
I never text back.
So it's kind of like, there's a lot of, maybe you have someone like this in your life now where you send off a text message and you're like, I think they'll see it. I don't know that they'll respond to it.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how it is right now?
It's kind of like,
It's like you don't respond to everything now. It's
No.
like on a as needed basis.
like if you directly ask me, like if you need something
Yes.
like right away, then I do try to get back.
Right.
But if it's just like oh hey, what does Gage want for his birthday? I don't know. You'll have to ask me three times probably.
Yeah.
'Cause
And then
I'll
I still
forget.
ended up, you actually didn't tell me.
I turned off like pretty much all the notifications on my phone. I don't
Yeah.
get email notifications. So I feel like what my family experiences is more like it's a job, not like it controls my whole life anymore, which is good. But we do get recognized when we're out in public, which is super fun. So our kids know that there is something a little bit different. But they've also grown up with it. And so
And you have an office now that you can go out to.
which has been really cool.
Yeah. So
too.
does that help you kind of leave it there a little bit
A
more?
little bit. Yeah. But
I would say it's a commitment. So meaning the weeks can be highly variable with how much time something takes. There's a lot of seasonal things.
Yeah.
But there's a commitment to consistency.
Yeah.
And so there's definitely days, just like with a job, where you don't want to go to work and where you're like, we just need to push through and make this happen.
Yeah.
Like crabby pregnant Diana. Not really. I've taken time off too if I've needed to. So don't worry. I've actually. So there is a lot of lifestyle built into that too, where it's like at the end of the day,
Yeah.
if you don't post, it will be okay. And everybody is like super understanding, and they're like, yeah,
Totally.
please take care of yourself. So
Like after that Botox video, yes, please take a break.
I can tell you're on the edge, Diana. My next video was me talking about eating McDonald's. So it's just, it's just like there's a lot happening. But there's a lot of commitment. Like there's a lot of, it requires a lot of consistency, and there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that isn't glamorous, but getting to do what we do is like the most amazing thing ever. And we're always just like,
It's a dream.
how did this happen?
We're
Like,
so fortunate.
so grateful.
Yeah.
We're
I love
so
what Julia
grateful.
says. Having adult children is wonderful. You have a lot to look forward to. That's so fun. Every season gets better. I was grieved a little bit, like great, our youngest is 9. Then we were like cleaning out the closet that had baby pictures in the crib. Like I got rid of the crib, and like there was things to grieve with that for sure. But I'm glad I didn't know he was going to be our last baby. And I love who they're becoming. Snotty, it's so snotty sometimes, but mostly it's so fun to see like who they're becoming and to think about who they're going to be. So
especially when your kids are homeschooled, are you ever like, where did you learn that? Like
I looked at Adeline the other day and said, I'm sorry, but I talked to you very kindly, so I'm not sure what this is, but I'm going to give you a chance to redo that, okay? Like, I was just like, I'm so nice to you. Why are you being a jerk to me? I don't understand.
Well, and so along that lines, there's actually several questions about parenting, and like, does Dawn give you advice? And the one piece of advice that really sticks with me that you've given me, and I'm sure there's many that I've implemented, is like, if you can be consistent. You said the first 3 years, I think you were just trying to encourage me.
I didn't want to make it too big of a undertaking.
4 years?
It's every year.
It's every year. Okay.
Sorry, there's no end to it.
Okay. I'm okay. We'll be okay. But if you
Baby Moses is here. It's fine. It's going to be okay.
my 5-year-old is getting a lot easier.
Yeah.
3 is a tough age where they're becoming their own person. But if you can be consistent in what the boundaries are, what the expectations are, not giving into the temper tantrums and everything, which I know a lot of us are tired, and a lot of us are just kind of like, you know what, put on a show. Here's the iPad. And I understand that. But that was, I think, some of the best parenting advice that you gave me was like, just stay consistent and it will pay off in the end.
Yeah, that's not easy. I do feel like highly simplifying our home has made it easier for me to be more level-headed with them, for me to involve them in the cooking and cleaning and not feel at all bad about it, because it's so easy to like maintain our house now. And the other book I highly recommend is Have a New Kid by Friday, where they just talk about how like just natural consequences, and when we started the school year, I kind of like had a new structure to our day, and I was so excited about it. We're starting with a devotional from Not Consumed, which is so good. It was on the power of the tongue, and I'm like, this is gonna be so good.
Ooh, and start the school year with power of the tongue.
Oh yeah, right?
That's a great
in my head, it was gonna be so wonderful. And I was just getting all of this attitude, and or they're like, we're not gonna fill out the, one of them was like, this is for babies, I'm not doing it. And I'm just like, okay. And so I had to like consciously choose, I'm not engaging this. And so I just say, okay. And then I let it go. And they kind of look at you like, oh, this is not going to end well for me. Right? It was not 5 minutes later, and that same child was asking me like, hey, could I look on Amazon because I need special shoes for my play that I'm going to be in? And I'm like, no. And they're like, what? And I'm like, well, you didn't want to fill out your form. I don't want to look for shoes on Amazon. And it is just a matter of minutes before your kids need something from you. And so for them to learn, like, I can act any way that I want, but it doesn't mean that there's not consequences to it. And for me not to get worked up, not to enter into a battle, not to justify why I chose this study and why we're doing it. I'll end my rant now, but that's
a life skill though, because that'll be with their bosses. That'll be like, you make choices every day, right?
Yeah.
So,
and I know I shared this on my podcast recently, and someone said, well, are they not though being trained then also to like share their feelings and their emotions? Like maybe something was bothering them. And I always make time. If they want to talk about something that is bothering, or if they wanted to come back and say, I think the reason I didn't want to do this was because of this, I will listen and talk with them all day long. Yeah. But I'm not always gonna, when we're all together trying to do stuff, be like, oh, now I need you to share all your feelings with me. Like that would have totally disrupted what we were doing. So I do think there is a time for understanding what's going on underneath, but also there's consequences to how they choose to act.
Well, and whether they're 3 or 13, not responding emotionally can be so hard. But if you don't get sucked into it and you stay just kind of level and neutral and be like, okay, like, if we don't do this, then we don't get this privilege, or you go to your crib, is where we're at with Declan, you know, whatever. Then like just being kind of like, okay, well, this is just what happens. Like, that's fine. Yeah. Like, you get to make your choice. You are a little human now, and and then there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this one a lot. Any great...
Oh, real quick though, I think Carla says, my 33-year-old daughter just told us that she always felt like we respected her. I asked what we did to make her feel that. She responded that we were consistent and she always knew what to expect, even when she tried to push the boundaries. We think toddlers push boundaries. I think teenagers push boundaries way more than toddlers. Sorry, Diana, again, but... Right?
Carla, tell me it gets better at 33. Tell me.
Lisa says, just wait until they start driving and see how good your prayer life gets. Sorry, I meant to whisper that so Diana didn't hear it. Yeah.
Okay, this one I like though. And the other book though, Simplicity Parenting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That, for this day and age, it talks a lot about media and screens and all of that and how that's affecting our children. Oh, amazing book. And then, so what I would say along those lines is somehow, somewhere, or pray and ask the Lord, you have to find one or two like-minded parents. Because if you are going to try to raise your kids counterculturally, which some of these things are, and like, because we don't have a lot of screens in our home, except for that big one right there.
It looks like a window.
Okay, right? So if you're gonna, and among other things, like we're not right now doing like group sports and activities and that type of thing. So anyway, these are decisions we're making as a family, but if you don't have people on your side, or at least one other person that will be like, I think that's a good call. You know, and you know, we're happy to support you in that, but I think just pray and ask the Lord, because I really do think you need that. There are so many pressures right now for parents and even grandparents and grandparents trying to understand and help and support their adult kids with their kids. It can be a lot. And so maybe as a grandparent, like giving permission, like it's actually okay if you don't start swimming lessons at 3. Or actually 1. Now it's 1. Okay, like that's okay. And so I can rant too. Okay. Any great kids' birthday traditions you do? I love what you guys do as a family.
Yeah, so we just celebrated Gage's 9th birthday, and what I like to think about it as like a birthday pie, right? So our gifts a piece of that, right? I kind of say birthday layered cake. I don't know.
Oh, cake.
Our gifts a piece of it, yes. But a bigger piece of it is spending time with family, like we went out to eat, and traditions that we do. So for us, each child gets to make their own cake and decide how they want to decorate and what kind they want it to be. So this year, Gage wanted red velvet with white frosting and colored sprinkles on it, right?
Sometimes
they wanted trucks. Monster trucks. We've had race cars on it, dinosaurs, that, you know, any number of
your
things.
Kids really are growing up.
I know. Stop.
There was no monster trucks?
I know.
But that's their gift.
That is, so we have started now, we will give them one gift of something. It's kind of like they need though, or like that's useful. Like Adeline really wanted a Fitbit, so then we got that. And so we do get one gift now. We never did in the past because they would get gifts from Grandma and Nana and Dinah.
And Aunt Dinah, even though no one would tell me what. Anyway, you got to get.
You figured it out.
It was okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
So again, I like to think of it as like a pie of like, how much do we want dedicated to gifts, and then also gratitude. So I was just telling Gage today too, like, oh, we're gonna sit down and write out your thank you notes for your gifts too tonight. Like that is such a lost art, right? Our mom really ingrained that in us as well. But again, just to take that time to be appreciative of the people who love us and care about us.
Yep. And just taking some, because that's, I think, when you go to these little kid birthday parties and you see the table stacked with gifts.
Yeah, can I share something? I heard a great idea was to call it, like if you're hosting a party for your kids, call it a Fiverr party and just ask each person. Fiverr, bring a $5 bill. And say there's something that they want to say they're saving up for or that they're hoping to get. And then you can take your child shopping to go get one gift. And then often they'll say like, we saved the rest or we donate. Yeah, it's not about going and getting a bunch of stuff, but it's something that they want. But I'm like, oh, that would be huge because you get so much stuff that's not anything they actually want, you know, from the birthday parties.
Or they use it once and it's
or I'm like, a $20 Target gift card? No. You are 10. You should not be getting like this much.
I
like,
can't
for
believe
your
what birthday
birthdays.
parties have become.
I know. It's
Uh-oh,
just gotten out of
I'm gonna
control.
rant. Okay, yeah.
I know. So I think you can only control you, right? Yep. So you could have a fiber party, ask parents to bring.
That.
I just feel like parents there's so much pressure on them because that's the pressure I felt going to the party of like, how much do I have to spend? What is expected of me? Oh, she got $100 worth of gifts from 2 people for her party. Now I have to reciprocate.
And you do. And then they have a bouncy house and a pony. And now you're like, how do I have a party? What is there left?
Right.
And you're having to hire the circus. It's just amazing. Okay. So let's do one more question. Oh, okay. All right. This is a good one, Dawn.
Okay.
This is for the minimal mom. I was wondering if either of you have stuff that's not necessarily sentimental, but more nostalgic. And we are 80s babies. Mm-hmm. I have some stuff like my old BlackBerry, a Discman, that are just cool because, let's face it, it's vintage now. What do you do with that kind of stuff, Dawn?
Yeah, well, if it's truly that special, I would put it in your memory box. Everyone should have a memory box. Kids should have memory boxes. Adults should have memory boxes. Or have one special bin of nostalgia stuff. I don't know. Did we keep our Cabbage Patch dolls? I'm trying to think. Yeah. We don't have much. We do have our letter jackets still.
See, still at my mom and dad's house.
I know.
We had to actually deal with.
I bet at our house, I don't know if I would.
So a memory bin, like we're talking like a little bigger than a shoebox, like maybe a
small a Rubbermaid tote.
Rubbermaid tote. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if it fits in there, that kind of helps you containerize it,
boundary around it. Or if you want to have a separate container for that stuff, it is kind of fun.
Yeah, to show your kids and stuff. I don't know. Do they?
But put a limit, boundary around it.
Oh man, my Letterman's jacket would not fit in my memory bin.
I know. What should we do with those?
Print the pictures that we have of us in it.
Well, that's just it. I wouldn't even think about it again if I didn't know it was in the closet. If it was already gone, it'd be.
That's probably my big. And then the question for me was, what's my most difficult area of clutter? Mm-hmm. And you know what it is? It took me a minute to think about this because we live very simply. Hair stuff, like hair products. Because you spend money on it, right? And you want to use it then to the very end. But if something doesn't work or I find myself not using it, it is so hard for me to part with. And I think because that's not really something you can donate as easily or pass on.
Yep.
But the thing that I found with getting older is when you throw things away, you don't really remember it.
It's true.
You really don't. And all I know is when I reach under my sink to get ready, there's just the 3 things there that I actually use every day: the dry shampoo, the root spray,
right.
Okay, and a little bit of hairspray maybe, and that's it. And so so I mean, if you want to keep your Discman, like, gosh, those are great memories, right? Okay,
great Halloween.
But have a container for it. And then for me, though, some of those like hard things, at least I've learned now, and this is one of the beautiful things of aging. You just don't think about it. Like you really, once it's out of the house, like. The space you have and the mental clarity that brings to you, having more space under your cupboards is weird, but it's real. And so that is worth so much more than maybe the $10 I spent on a product that doesn't work.
Yeah. Julia is saying, we're taking a big trip and the adult children said we can cut back on Christmas. Not sure how to do this. I'm having a harder time than them, thinking less will be under the tree. It's tough when we have this picture of what we think Christmas should look like, has looked like.
I might hear a little bit of a gift love language in there too.
Well, for sure.
Okay, so that's real.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you still want to have things to wrap up and give. But I think we live in a world right now where we are drowning in stuff and we have never been more lonely. Yeah. And so I think it's so cool that you're going on a trip. And so I think it'd be fun to do some gifts that maybe go along with the trip or that people can use on it or things you all can do as a family when you're together. And I hear from many that it takes a few years maybe to cut back as much as you'd like. So maybe this year you don't go quite as far as you'd think, but keep working on cutting back a little bit each year, and I think you'll notice it's not missed. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out with our family on Princeton's side because we draw names for the kids, so they should only get one gift. Somehow they don't. Yeah. Somehow they still get extra gifts. And so I've been trying to figure out how to communicate that this year ahead of time. Yeah. Like, no, really, one gift. And honestly, you know what I am so over? Oh gosh, I'm not gonna have any friends by the time this baby comes. Christmas pajamas. Oh yeah. Because they're so cute for pictures and on Christmas. But in February, and then March, and then in March you're like, do I save this for the next baby? I just don't like to have to deal with that.
So
wow,
we
I've
are-
been a worm for like 8 years. It
I know.
took you
I
longer
have,
to get
our
there.
family, we all kind of, I've done it too. I've gotten them for all the kids too. And last year someone else got them for all the kids. So I think I have to communicate about that.
Yep.
Be like, all right, let's just cut out the Christmas jammies. We have enough jammies.
They already got them.
Yep. Or maybe we'll reuse
Or
the ones
just find
from-
something that's neutral, right? That doesn't have to
Oh,
be
yeah.
Christmas, but it's still new pajamas.
regular pajamas. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be
we
it.
can wear it
But
all
again,
winter.
it's just
But it's another thing.
more things.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how it's just a lot more stuff. And then wanting to teach the kids too that Christmas isn't just all presents. And
Oh, Jennifer is asking, did we get the final answer on who was who in the picture?
Dawn has her coloring book and crayons. Like she
Okay.
was just prepared
To go get my haircut?
to, oldest, like,
Yeah.
we might have some time to spend here. And I'm just like, hey, let's go. What are we doing? Like, let's
figure it out.
go.
We'll talk to people, we'll hang out.
We gotta stop and take a picture. Like, come on. I thought we were headed out the door. Like that would be me.
Yeah.
And Dawn would be like,
Yep, that's awesome.
okay.